I came in, you really get that, that feeling of I'm doing something important.
Somewhere out in the Atlantic Ocean, gliding through the water, a patriotic symbol of the sheer awesomeness and power that is the U.S. Navy.
My name is Michael Jones and I'm from Melbourne, Florida.
Kevin Gillespie, I'm from Los Angeles, California.
Bateman Dunlap, I'm from Dothan, Alabama.
My name is Chase Matthews. I grew up in Port Aransas, Texas.
They come from different cities, cultures, different backgrounds. These sailors leaving everything behind to serve on the floating front lines of freedom.
Currently operating at sea with 3,000 men and women, serving aboard the ship another 2,400 from carrier Air Wing 1.
Our flight out to the U.S.S. Harry S. Truman started here at Naval Station Norfolk as we climb right into the back of this C-2 Greyhound known as a cod. Soon, we're off. Roughly 3 hours later, our flight suddenly came to a quick stop, going from 130 miles per hour to 0 in just a couple of seconds, landing on this moving airport at sea. Wires along the ship's flight deck catching the plane for what's called an arrested landing. As we step outside for the first time, right away we are introduced to the well-orchestrated madness of the flight deck. F-18s taking off and landing just feet away.
It's amazing to watch the ballet of the flight deck.
Down below in the hangar bay
My wife and I
is where we met Lieutenant Commander Chase Matthews, a local guy from Port Aransas.
My initial plan was just to do 4 years in the military and get out, but here I am 27 years later.
Here on the Truman, Matthews is in charge of defending the aircraft carrier with its defensive weapons.
So if an airplane or a missile were to come into the carrier, it's my job to make sure it gets shot down.
Matthews says growing up in Port Aransas, along with his love for water, he always knew the Navy would be a perfect fit, a job that has taken him around the world.
Especially the Mediterranean, Italy, Sicily, Spain, Greece. I've lived in Japan for 3 years with my family. It's really remarkable where we can go and what we can do with this aircraft carrier.
He is older than most of the sailors on board. In fact, a vast majority of them are under the age of 21. Sailors who are responsible for the care and maintenance of multi-million-dollar aircraft.
We all know the knock on millennials and Gen Zers, and what you'll find here is nothing could be further than the truth. Instead of selfish, they are absolutely selfless in volunteering to defend their fellow Americans.
Working to protect our international waterways on one of the most impressive aircraft carriers in the world.
To ensure that we're ready to answer the bell whenever or wherever we're called.
Which means the sailors could be at sea for months at a time. To help give them a sense of home, the ship offers a variety of ways to keep them occupied. There's a library, a movie room, even limited access to the internet. Another comfort from home, they even have their own Starbucks on board. And just feet away from these impressive aircraft, you will also find sailors who spend their free time trying to stay fit.
Up and down, here.
Walking around the ship, there are plenty of ways to get lost with narrow passageways, or P-ways as they call them. It's where we met another Texas native.
My name is Theodore Heglin. I'm a machinist mate, 3rd class.
Heglin was also an islander at Texas A&M Corpus Christi before he joined the Navy. He works in Shaft Alley, which had us squeezing through several of these scuttles to get to. We are going all the way down to the bows of the ship now.
There's a lot of weight on our shoulders as far as just truly running the ship and everything that happens. Several hundred feet from this spot right here, that's where the turbines are, the main engines, all that stuff that's making this shaft spin.
This is his office space.
If anything happens, I'm responsible for it, I'm accountable for it.
Heglin has been in the Navy for just over 2 years and stationed on the ship for over a year.
I want to give a shout out to everyone back home. Miss you, and I love you.
His role, crucial, as are all of the sailors and aviators here. It's a 24-hour window into the lives of these men and women who serve on board this incredible ship. A journey that makes you appreciate the sacrifices they make to serve their country. Bill Churchwell, 3 News.